Conservation groups in the south are warning that wildlife will suffer if the drought continues. The RSPB says 2012 could be a disastrous nesting season because of the lack of water. Mark Sanders reports from one wetland site in West Sussex where they're worried about birds surviving.
These wetlands aren't wet enough. At the RSPB's reserve at Pulborough Brooks, they're worried about how the drought will harm the birds that breed here. This is the problem. What should be a torrent is barely a trickle. The water channels that feed into the wetlands aren't flowing as they should. Birds that breed on wet meadows, such as lapwings and redshanks, must find their own food from hatching. Invertebrates get harder to find as fields dry out, and the young are unable to fly to other sources of food until they fledge.
The chicks need about 6 weeks to 2 months of damp soil conditions to feed well and to turn into fully flying birds. And it's the damp ground that's insect rich that's the key. So if the ground isn't damp, the chicks can't access the insects.
And if the dry weather persists, swallows and house martins, which use mud to form their nests, will struggle to find building material, reducing their nesting success. Conservation groups say this drought and the effect it'll have on the environment should make households reconsider the amount of water they use.
We get a tonne of water every week and it costs us about £1. Now, you know, it's fashionable to criticise the water companies, but actually they do pretty well in what they're doing. I think we just need to realise it's a restricted resource, it's an environmental limit, we have to live within it.
Here at Pulborough Brooks, they've taken measures to try to hang on to all the water they can. But if there isn't heavy, persistent rain soon, spring conditions for breeding waders will be poor. Mark Sanders, BBC South Today, Pulborough Brooks.